Excellent. So a little bit of a warm-up question. I'd love to hear from each of you. What's your key philosophy on partner impact and attribution?
If I talk to partnership professionals about the thing that they want or the thing that they feel that they are missing or the magic wand that I could wave that would bring them value and have them, buy more of my software or sleep better at night, it would be attribution. We hear that word constantly. We've heard it in the entire operating history of Crossbeam. And we've rolled out various attribution models and have all this cool attribution functionality in the product. And I think in a somewhat misguided way, in the first couple of years of building Crossbeam, we listened to the customer almost a little too much and like over-indexed on providing these mechanisms for partner teams to prove to the rest of their organizations that they should continue to exist, right? It's like this, let me be armed with a bunch of information that I can take to the next meeting with the CRO or with the sales team or with the powers that be of my business and be able to show data and tell stories about why partnerships is great. And I think what we were missing in that time is this bigger fundamental problem that you run into when you zoom out, which is that there's very often a misalignment between what the company is trying to optimize for in their board meetings and from a global sense around like the key metrics of the business that matter the most, which very often are fairly simple, right? It's like pipeline generation and how much revenue did we add and like what are our close rates and how much retention do we have, right? Whereas as you zoom down into this partner world and they ask for attribution, they want to talk about sourced and influenced revenue and they want to separate it by these particular things that are very bespoke to how their PRM is set up or how their channels are defined. And the things that these teams very often think that they want that feel good and that are validating to them, when they run it up the flagpole a couple of layers, it lands flat. Or it conflicts directly with, oh, you've got your partner qualified leads. Well, I've got my marketing qualified leads and they're the same leads. And these systems are not talking to each other and these teams are not talking to each other. And I think the best thing that we ever did to help solve for this problem was not build attribution models for partner teams. It was to build actionable ways for sales teams and revenue organizations to leverage partner teams and partner data to achieve their goals. And it was only when we started selling to sales teams and having sales teams adopt our products alongside the partner teams that we built this operational bridge between the two where they could actually start talking the same language and showing the same metrics. So over the years, I've struggled, and I think we've probably tripped and fallen on our faces a few times on the product roadmap side trying to solve that attribution problem. And it turned out things only started working when we kicked it to the curb and zoomed out a little bit and thought about it more from like a top-down standpoint.
Yeah, I agree. And, just to follow on your points, I think we, kind of ran away from that chaos and the complexity. And we kind of went back, and I think of the first 30 years of my time in the channel, we go back to theories and flywheels and, kind of broader kind of, I think it's important and, we should tell people it's important, but we really don't have any data to show that it's important. I'd say in the last 18 months, we've gone through a major inflection point in partner attribution. I mean, just from the very top level, if I look at the tech industry, for example, $6.07 trillion, 96% of it is surrounded and influenced by partners, literally all of it. To be successful in this AI era going forward, which this industry is going to double in size in the next 3 to 5 years, it's been the fastest growing industry for 56 straight years, and it's going to double in size in the next 3 to 5. So where we're at now and to be successful going forward, we know more about attribution than we ever have before. We're using AI and we're using other things like Crossbeam and other things to get early warning systems to attribution, when and how we should be measuring. We know a lot more about a considered purchase, the 28 moments leading to a purchase that are all attributable, as well as every 30 days forever in 2/3 of our industry that's now subscription consumption based is also attributable. So every moment, and now the 6.3 partners that surround the customer, measuring beyond transactional, that advisory moment, the consulting moment, the integration moments, the implementation moments, the managed services moments, the design moments. I could go through hundreds of services and moments that are infinitely measurable. And so it's not just an attribution, Bob, that you mentioned, which is, hey, where was first touch and what ebook did they read and How did we trigger that back into our MarTech or AdTech tools? It's literally quantifying that moment and how important that moment was back to our company, not in our channel metrics that we all have the 50 of them that we throw around that no one understands above us in the organization, but back to the company. We want to reduce our cost to acquire a customer. Well, let me quantify this attribution back to that. We want to win bigger deals faster. Let me quantify the moments that lead to that. You want to renew at 108% renewal rate and enrichment rate? Well, let's attribute all of that work. And the plot twist is that pretty much all of it is partner driven.